What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and me, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, I certainly hope you did. So in this video I'm gonna give my final thoughts on the Tekken 8 story and gameplay teaser trailer. So this is the trailer that was released on the 9th of December, I believe it was, at the Game Awards. Noticeably shorter than the first trailer at 1 minute and 16 seconds, showing off story sequences and some gameplay sequences. And was so different in style from the first trailer we got, and that's what I'm going to be discussing the most today, as well as giving my takes on everything going on in the trailer. But let's just watch it again, all of it. Really like the music, actually. Yeah. Those nunchucks. And Jack's got a bazooka, or is it an RPG? I'm not a military expert. I love this beat drop. I really wish that trailer was longer. I mean, it's really good. And again, love that beat drop. And I mean, pretty generic choir in the background, but still, you know, it's hype. It certainly does its job. Wish the trailer was longer, but you know, Tekken World Tour Amsterdam pretty soon. We'll probably see more stuff there. And this sequence has been talked about a lot. Like, wow, what is that shadow in the water? Who is it? And to me, it's pretty obvious. Looks like I lost. He's been thrown into the ocean, I guess, or some body of water. Defeated. Looks like I lost. Isn't this Devil Kazuya? I mean, it's super obvious. He's flying down, his knee crouched or whatever. These are his arms, and these are his wings. And here's the head. And here Jin is like surprised. Huh? And that's Kazuya's hand. So I don't know what this means. It could be something pretty epic, you know, that they're really trying with the story. That Kazuya, maybe early on in story mode, well, I'm just speculating, he defeats Jin. Jin falls into the water, and then Kazuya's like, you know, join me. They could be doing a Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, right? You should join me, Jin. You can't defeat me. Join my side and we will rule the world. I'm trying to do an epic voice here. But that could be what we're doing, right? Because I don't believe we're going to do the anti-hero Kazuya who suddenly sees that, you know, I can't kill my son. I'll save him. I don't think that's happening. But that's what I'm hoping for with this story. Like somewhat of a redemption arc with Kazuya before he dies. Give him a nice moment with June, who's back. Show their relationship a little bit, because we know fuck all about it, right? Do something with that, and then he can die. June being back is incredible. It's the best thing to happen to Tekken in a long time. Super interesting character in terms of gameplay when you look at her Tag 2 rendition, and one of the all-time great female characters overall in design, in my opinion. And speaking of elegant ladies, I'm hoping Kazumi returns as well. Quite the fan favorite. So yeah, I really hope she comes back. Best outfit of all time. Paul, yeah, lawyer. I think it's just the fact that he's flexing that makes him look a little bit fucked up. I think if you pause during these sequences here, you see he looks great. He looks great. And this is also where we can talk about, like, didn't the first trailer look better from a technical standpoint, like a graphical standpoint? I feel like in this trailer, the lighting in this sequence and with the Jack and King sequence doesn't work that well, in my opinion. But the sequences on Times Square, New York, or Madison Square, Times Square, I think it is, Kazuya fighting Jin, the Shinjuku stage, Lars versus Jack, that looks really great. But I don't know if this here, it doesn't hold up too well. And Lo is skipping leg day. Look at his calf on the left leg there. Contrast it to the upper body. God damn it, Law. Don't skip squats, motherfucker. I mean, yeah, his legs are so thin. It's a good look. But yeah, look at Law's face. When you look at it, when he's not doing that stupid Brock Lesnar flex pose, he looks great. So it's just that intro pose where he looks a little bit fucked up. But here, he looks great. And so here we see Jack use, I'm going to discuss the heat system as well. Harada's talked a little bit more about it at a tournament. So here Jack's heat uses his big ol' RPG. It's a pretty cool sequence. And of course, when you know, we've had, it went from wall stun to then wall break, and then eventually balcony break, right? And now we have, the next thing is basically that they have planted rockets and bombs and mines at the walls. I guess that's a bomb. So there's a huge explosion, kaboom. Or it's Jack farting, I don't know. But so basically, Michael Bay is now a game designer in the Tekken team. Let's get some more goddamn explosions. I don't know how I feel about this. Overall, I mean, the explosion effect is cool. But I'm going to talk about how the game is maybe a little bit too busy right now in terms of stuff going on. I'm going to get into it. So here, the Shinjuku stage, again, it's a little bit of an eyesore in my opinion. There's just so much shit going on in the background and in the foreground, like kaboom, boom, explosions. But from a graphical standpoint, this sequence is very impressive, I think. And this just looks great. And I love that we're doing a little bit of a Tekken 4, where I've always felt like with Tekken 5, 6, Tag 2, 7, you're always fighting. It's never in a real-world location. You can see buildings and stuff, but you're always fighting in this dumb square where it's like, what is this square? It doesn't lead to anything. It just feels like you're just in a fighting game arena, basically, that wouldn't exist in real life. But now we're actually going to be at Shinjuku. We're going to be at Times Square. I think that's what it is. Manhattan. And it's super cool to me. I loved that with Tekken 4, that it was more grounded and gritty. It felt like you were in an actual place. They did that really well with Tekken 4. There was another level of immersion compared to the games preceding it and preceding it. No, wait. Preceding it and following it. Sequeling it. Oh, whatever. So I really like this. So now we're coming to a sequence that I'm going to have to spend some time breaking down because there's so much going on in this like 3-second sequence. So that's a demonstration of a new heat mechanic. So I'm gonna put this at very low speed so we can break it down. And this is a sequence that was shown by Harada again at a presentation they did at a tournament in the US where you saw a couple of more seconds, but I don't really need those seconds to break this down. But Jin does his 1+2, you know, his free hit, which has been reanimated, which is really cool, looks better now. He does that on Kazuya, and that triggers Jin's heat. And I love that they call it heat. Oh, he's in heat! Oh my god, watch out, he's in heat! It's like, god damn it, couldn't you have named it something else? But, oh well. So basically, he does 1+2. Kazuya is in a stagger, as you can see. There's nothing he can do. And Kazuya has to take a mix-up. So, and here he does a demon pull where he gets a transparent translucent devil wing, which looks so sick on that demon paw. So cool. Really like that. But gameplay-wise, Jin's heat mechanic, and this is where Harada said that all characters will have unique heat mechanics. It will not work in the same way for all of the characters. And I find this to be a really good idea. It's a little bit worrying when they say that they want the game to be much more aggressive. They want to favor really aggressive play. And this is something that makes me a little bit worried, because Tekken 7 already favors aggressive play a lot by certainly nerfing the movement. Like if you play Tag 2, the game is very, like, they move really quickly, favoring more defensive play. Tekken 7, reducing the movement and giving characters bigger hitboxes on attacks, and giving a lot of characters like far-reaching attacks that are also homing. So poking and aggressive play is very much favored in Tekken 7. And then Murray and Harada say, well, with Tekken 8, we want it to be more aggressive. And you're like, Jesus, what does this mean? And I certainly was hoping that, okay, so I hope not every character is going to get heat and just bombard the opponent with shit. And I think what they show with Kazuya here shows that he's not going to work in that way. He's going to still be more of a defensive character. And I'm going to get into that. But so this looks like, it has to be mentioned, that this seems to work like Giga's Goliath mix-up in Tekken 7. For those of you who don't know, Gigas can press back 2 and hold that to do a charge-up punch that, when released, boom, on guard, throws the opponent back far, just like this, and they're in a stagger state, and then Gigas runs in like that and gets a mix-up. A 50-50. And I think that is exactly what this looks like. This is basically Giga's Goliath. So here, Kazuya is forced to block, has to take the mix-up, gets it correctly. He went with a standing guard to block that mid. I'm pretty sure Jin is going to be able to hell sweep there or something like that. But again, he gets another heat mix-up. He dashes out of that, and Kazuya still seems to be in a guard. But there, Jin seems to have access to his entire move list, goes with back 3, Zen into a new homing attack, which is ducked, and Kazuya punishes. And this is a clear distinction here. We're showing that Kazuya, to get his heat, punishes the opponent, right? Well, I guess you could say that Jin did the same thing, landing a 1+2. But here, it certainly seems like, you know, he transforms into Devil, and then he bounds him with a down back 2 that is performed with the left hand. And again, this is seen in the breakdown with Harada. So it seemed, and this is where I'm also a little bit, I guess, worried, and almost tells me, is this game going to have a meter system? Like, are we now going to see a Tekken game where all characters have meter? Because I don't understand how he transforms here. The Devil transformation in it was first introduced in Tag 2. He could do it whenever he wanted, but it didn't really buff Kazuya, right? And then in Tekken 7, it's a rage art. You are in rage, low in HP, and you consume your rage by doing a manual transformation into Devil, or you land a rage drive and he transforms into Devil. Here, he's certainly not in rage. The classic rage look is still in Tekken 8. They glow red, pulsating red. So there's none of that here. He's not in rage. Yet still, he can transform, right? And I'm pretty goddamn sure this Devil transformation is still like a significantly stronger Kazuya, just like in Tekken 7. Because it certainly adds value immediately in that, again, it's not seen in this video, but when he transforms now, it freezes time. It doesn't do that in Tekken 7. So here it freezes time, and you see Kazuya bound Jin, and Jin is stuck in this state for the entire duration. He doesn't move a single frame. He just eats the bound. So the Devil transformation still adds value, still is very powerful. So I'm just wondering, how the hell does he do it here? The only conclusion I can take, to be honest, is that he probably has a meter and it's built up enough heat. And here he transforms and goes into heat, because after this transformation, he's glowing blue, like heat. So, I don't know, is there a meter? What I'm hoping is that we soon get a video from Bandai Namco where they show us an entire match. What does the UI look like? What does the loading screen look like? Intro, win poses. What does the game flow look like? They still haven't shown us a sidestep. What does the movement look like? So there's still so many questions, and I can only speculate, but it almost speaks towards a meter what Kazuya does here. And again, I'm guessing he's going to use his heat defensively. My guess is he's going to punish really hard. Like, he launch you with like twin pistons or whatever, freezes time with a devil transformation, has time to bound you, and then do a big devil combo. So I'm guessing he's going to work along those lines, and maybe not have these canned mix-ups from heat that Jin is using here. What I also want to talk about is the astoundingly noisy presentation here, and how busy the screen is, and how it's, to me, it's, if you look at like trailer 1, and again, you can get into how that one looks a bit different in terms of graphical presentation. Again, a lot of people have said that, okay, of course you're more visually, graphically impressed with the first trailer, because games always look better in nighttime sequences with rain and with that hard contrast with the light, you know, very defined shadows. And there's probably a lot to that, like daylight sequences will never be as impressive. But what you can definitely say is that there's also an aesthetical difference between the trailers, the art style. The first trailer is very grounded, doesn't have a lot of hit sparks, and even when they connect, have a classic Tekken like red little hit spark bubbles. And there's not a whole lot of paint effects and trails, right, when they swing. It looks very much like Tekken. And the martial arts, Mishima style, but very grounded. But when I look at this sequence, like when he's sprinting here, he's glowing blue, and you'll notice that as he's running, the ground is breaking behind him. It's oh my god, the rocks and asphalt just fucking exploding when he's doing his sprint. And then kaboom, he's still glowing. Kazuya, when he guards this attack, glows orange. Is he building meter by defending against heat? I don't know. But look how busy this looks like compared to just Tekken 7, which was already a big, like, presentation oomph upgrade over Tag 2. Tekken 7 added these hit sparks, glowing blue rage drive, color filters, slow-mo, you know, did a lot to improve the presentation. But I'm wondering here, is this too busy almost? It's almost looking a little bit like Soul Calibur. And here, he guards the Demon Paw, and then in one frame, just like an FADC from Street Fighter, kaboom! There's a sonic boom, and he immediately cancels into this crazy sprint. And again, it's exploding, he's showing his ass to the audience, and that is a firm ass. But like, shit flying everywhere. Boom! Glowing orange. Oh, then... homing, there's paint effects, black, red, he's still glowing from heat, he's glowing white because he's doing a homing. The homing is no longer like subtle white dust, it's now a light blue, turquoise, is that the word? Like paint, trail, and there's a red trail. And then Kazuya, kaboom! Again, homing, Demon Godfist, so we got the trail, and we got the sparks, and we got the hit effect. Look at this. And like, the first trailer doesn't look like this at all. Very grounded, heavy martial arts that has weight to it. And classic Tekken, very subdued hit sparks. Like, less is more. And again, you might think this presentation is cooler, but I'm a little bit like, is it starting to look more like Dragon Ball now? Let's look at this sequence at full speed. I don't know, it's like, to me, I don't know, I know that modern fighting games, you want to add a lot of flash, you know, you want to add these Street Fighter one-frame cancels, like, you know, it's just... But we've never seen Tekken characters move like this. They always, you know, there's always been over-the-top stuff, like bears, robot samurais, cyborg Brian, devil lasers, but they've always moved like human beings, right? Some over-the-top attacks, but everything has had this weight to it. And now it's going into what looks like a 2D fighter, in my opinion. Like, sonic boom. And I don't know. I know this is modern, you know, more effects, more hype. Characters are glowing, sonic boom, because he's dashing faster than the sound itself. But I don't know, it just doesn't really look like Tekken to me. And I'm not trying to sound overly negative. I might love this, you know, it's flashy for sure. But I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like Tekken to me. Looks more like what other fighting games look like. So we'll see if this introduces meter, if this is what the final product looks like. I know a lot of people will like the increase in flash, but I don't know, I feel like less is more. And I feel like when every other game goes towards this direction, enormous effects, you know, remember Soul Calibur 6? I could barely tell what was going on. And a lot of people really like that, but I feel like Tekken stands out in that, no, we less of that stuff in Tekken. You can stand out by being the one guy that goes, well, no, we're gonna keep it more grounded. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this, but yeah. There's a lot going on the screen. But we'll see. We'll see what the final product looks like. And again, that might grow on me. We will cleanse the world of its evil and corruption. And again, like, is she supposed to be 45? Can I get her skin cream, please? And so here, what I think she's doing is that she is, like, removing Jin's devil gene, or he's making him one with it, you know, so that he's not corrupted anymore. And this is a sequence I, for years, have hoped we would see in a future Tekken game, but Jun with Kazuya. Like, Kazuya is evil, but Jun's presence calms him. And she can do something similar with him. And then instead, Kazuya suddenly, as an anti-hero, with all of the evil shit he's done, has to fight against Jin, who's been completely corrupted by the devil gene. And he has to sort of save his son, whatever. That to me would have been a cool and dramatic take. Like June, you know, she's like, you have to save our son. But yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see what they do. But, you know, I'm so happy June is back. And this is still so cool. The chain making the 8. Really cool. Nice. So, all in all, looking really great. Can't wait to see the next trailer. Had hoped this one would be a bit longer. And again, a lot of people feel the presentation, especially in this sequence, is a bit iffy. But this is a work in progress, which one has to remember. We'll see what the final presentation looks like. Heat system, again, will be different from character to character. Here we see heat again. Lars Ford 3 being a launcher, he picks up here. But again, look at the amount of shit going on here. It's just... holy hell. Oh, and something I do want to mention that I almost forgot, which is no small detail in my opinion, is that I remember telling you guys when we were watching the first trailer of Tekken 7 that oh wow, Harada told us in an IGN interview that everything has been rebuilt, everything has been redone from scratch. And you know, you saw the presentation in the first trailer, and I was like, oh my god, they're doing a Tekken 5 again. Tekken 5 really pushed the visuals. It still remains one of the best looking games on PlayStation 2. But since then, you know, the game sold worse and worse, and the it was less and less impressive graphically on release, like every game on console. And Tekken 7, no exception. It was never a really good looking game. But so here again, you know, they're skipping last gen. They're like, hey, let's push it. Let's, you know, the first trailer was just jaw dropping how epic it was. So in the interview, he was like, oh, this is rendered in real time. Like, well, double thumbs up. We've rebuilt everything. And looking at that trailer, I was like, holy shit. Even the juggle state of a character. You know, when Kazuya goes abolishing fist, perfect electric, back 4, which was reanimated. And then he did a hell sweep, reanimated. Was no longer breaking himself in twice, like by the hip. If you pause Kazuya when he does a hell sweep, his waist turns into a 2-inch stick. It's like he breaks himself in half every time he does a hell sweep, if you just pause. So I was like, oh, all of that is gone. The animations look fucking amazing. Wow. And then we got a video showing that was actually there's a proper mocap team that has worked on the game. But I was like, even the juggle state, which has remained the same, you know, when you juggle someone, how they go, that's remained the same since Tekken 1. So when I saw Jin being juggled, it looked so organic and natural and dynamic. I was like, oh my god, they've even reanimated the juggle state. So cool. But when I saw this video, I was like, you know, Jack's getting launched here. That's the old juggle state since Tekken 1. That's the old juggle state. So I was like, oh no. They hadn't reanimated it. That sequence you see in that trailer, that was probably mocapped by the stunt team. Electric, back 4, that hell sweep, with that cool camera, that was mocapped by a stunt crew, and also Jin's juggle state. So that was specifically for a story sequence or for that trailer. So it's not reanimated. And when I saw that being redone in the trailer, first trailer, the juggle state, Kazuya's hell sweep, Kazuya's back 4, I was like, not only did they rebuild the models, that they've confirmed, but I was like, oh, they've reanimated many of the attacks. Awesome. But then I see in this trailer that, oh wow, I got that really wrong. They haven't reanimated. It's the same animations. What we saw in the first trailer was simply a mocap performance. So I'm expecting Kazuya to still break his hip in half doing a hell sweep. So well, that was a little bit disappointing to me, but oh well, we'll see. You know, it's still early. But yeah, I guess that's everything I wanted to say regarding this trailer. But mostly very positive. Looks so good. I'm really looking forward to seeing more. But again, I hope you enjoyed my takes on this and my commentary on the trailer. Hope you're as happy as I am with what we've seen so far. Again, there are a lot of question marks. The biggest one for me is, will this be a Tekken game with meter? That's a big one. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Tekken World Tour will answer some of our big questions. Again, thank you so much for listening to me, and have a lovely day. Take care.